Hello everyone, Dark Blaine here, back playing some more AFK Arena. And in this video, I want to look at Frampton's skills, engraving, signature item, and furniture. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It'll help you get notified on when I post new videos. So let's get on with the video. Okay, so first I'm going to start off with looking at his things down here. He's a Hypogean hero, like the patch notes have said. He's going to be an agility-based hero. He's going to be a warrior as his class, and then his primary role is going to be continuous damage. So he's going to be doing damage continuously, it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to look at his skills now, starting with his ultimate ability, Blazing Meteor. Frampton throws all enemies in front of him up into the air, who comes crashing down several moments later onto the nearest enemy target, dealing 410% damage to all affected enemies, also stunning them for 2 seconds. Every enemy that Frampton successfully throws into the air increases his attack rating for 8 seconds by a value equal to 15% of each enemy's attack rating, but the total value cannot exceed 30% of his own current attack rating. This ability does not affect bosses or control immune enemies. So he'll throw all enemies that are in front of him into the air, and then they'll fall to the ground, and it'll deal 410% damage, and it'll also stun them for 2 seconds. So that stun is going to be pretty good. And he'll also increase his attack rating by 15% for 8 seconds for each enemy that he throws into the air. And also, I feel like this bottom part here is very important. This ability does not affect bosses or control immune enemies. So yeah, it sounds like you will not be able to use him with bosses because of this ability. So I feel like that's something to take note of. Okay, his second skill, Burning Vengeance. Frampton's normal attack turns into a quick flurry of successive strikes, dealing 130% damage per strike to enemies in front of him, with the final strike knocking enemies into the air, dealing 290% damage to them in the process. There's also a passive part to this. When this ability fails to deal any damage, damage is increased by 25% the following time it is used. Damage can be stacked up to 200%, but when an enemy is kicked, the stack damage bonus is lost. At level 2, Frampton deals 140% damage to enemies in front of him each time. Level 3, Frampton's final kick deals 320% damage. And level 4, Frampton deals 150% damage to enemies in front of him each time. So he'll do a quick flurry of attacks, and each attack will deal 130% damage per strike. And then the final strike will knock the enemies into the air and deal 290% damage. And also the passive, the ability will sometimes fail to deal any damage, and when that happens, the damage for the next time he uses this ability will be increased by 25%. So that sounds pretty cool. We'll just have to see how well this ability does. Okay, his third ability, Fists of Fire. At the start of battles, Frampton teleports directly in front of the enemy located opposite him and deals 300% damage to them. If the enemy's attack or defense ratings are higher than his own, Frampton raises his own to make up 50% of the difference, which persists until the end of battle. The raised value can reach a maximum of Frampton's 50% attributes. When this ability is used against non-boss enemies, Frampton shall also receive a shield that has a value equal to 25% of the enemy target's max health, which exists for 8 seconds. When this ability is triggered, Frampton is immune to control effects. Now at level 2, damage is increased to 320%. Now at level 3, Frampton's shield has a value equal to 30% of the enemy's target's max health. So Frampton will teleport in front of the enemy opposite him at the start of battle, and he'll deal 300% damage to them. And then if the attack or defense rating is higher than Frampton's, Frampton will raise his own attributes, and that will happen until the end of battle. And there's the rest there. That's quite a bit of text to read, and it's quite confusing, but yeah, I'm just trying to make sense of it here. Okay, there's the final ability here, Flaming Feast. This ability has a passive as well. Frampton accumulates blaze points every time one of his abilities deal damage. So he'll gain blaze points every time he deals damage to the enemies. Blazing Meteor will cost 12 blaze points. Burning Vengeance, 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, and 7 blaze points. So I'm assuming there are 6 times he can use this Burning Vengeance. The first time will cost 2, then it goes up to 4 times. If you use it the 4th time, it will cost 4 blaze points, and then there's the 6th time here. Now it will cost 7. I'm assuming that's how they're wording it here. And there's Fist of Fire, which that will cost 15 blaze points. Once Frampton has accumulated 100 blaze points, he triggers this ability. Frampton is temporarily immune to all damage and control effects, and deals 430% damage to all nearby enemies once, causing them to be unable to recover health for the following 5 seconds. So when he gets 100 blaze points, he will be immune to damage and control effects. This is only temporarily though. And he will deal 430% damage to nearby enemies, which that's quite a bit of damage as well. And they won't be able to recover health for 5 seconds. That sounds really powerful. That definitely sounds really powerful there. Now level 2 damage is increased to 480%. And at level 3, this ability cannot be dodged. So the enemies will not be able to dodge this ability. That level 3 sounds pretty good as well. Okay, there's all 4 skills. I'm going to look at the Engraving, which, remember, that affects the bottom 2 skills here. I'm just going to look at the 2 skills. And this one is for Fist of Fire. Frampton also draws the enemies that are positioned above and below the original target close to himself. So, I believe this is the one where he goes opposite. Yeah, he teleports to the enemy opposite of him. And with the Engraving, he will be able to move the enemies that are above and below his target close to him. So he'll be able to do even more damage. So that's really cool. And the second one involves Flaming Feast. Frampton shall trigger this ability once per battle when he receives fatal damage, and the damage dealt is based upon his current blaze point value. So if Frampton he receives fatal damage, this ability will trigger, and the damage dealt is based upon the current blaze point value. So if he has a lot of blaze points when he is dealt fatal damage, he'll do quite a bit of damage, it sounds like. So overall, his engravings sound really good. Let's look at his stats here. Looks like he'll be gaining some health, defense, attack. Yeah, just really the usual stat boost. It sounds like. Overall, I feel like his engravings looks really good. Okay, I'm going to look at his signature item next. Blaze Embraces. Signature item skill, Eternal Flame. When Frampton deals damage to enemies, he receives 8% less damage for the following 5 seconds. Dealing damage to differing enemies grants Frampton damage reduction, which can be stacked up to 80% damage reduction. Dealing damage to the same target multiple times refreshes the ability's duration, but does not stack damage reduction. So every time he deals damage when he deals damage to enemies, he'll receive 8% less damage for 5 seconds, and if he deals damage to different enemies, he'll get damage reduction. So this one, I feel like this one's pretty much just about dealing less damage for Frampton. And a plus 10, Frampton receives 12% less damage for the following 5 seconds. Plus 20. When Frampton deals damage to enemies, he recovers an amount of health equal to 180% of his defense rating. This effect can be triggered up to 4 times every 2 seconds. So with this one, he'll be gaining, sounds like he'll be gaining quite a bit of health from this one. It's triggered up to 4 times every 2 seconds. That sounds like quite a bit of time to recover energy, or health there. And at plus 30, Frampton's attacks cause enemy targets to lose 15 tenacity points for 5 seconds. Effect can be stacked up to 3 times, so at most they'll be losing 45 tenacity points for 5 seconds. That one sounds pretty good too. That plus 20 sounds amazing. The health recovery sounds pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna look at the furniture, see what the furniture looks like here. The furniture always takes a while to load for me. Here we go. Flame Glutton. For his 3 of 3, every time Frampton accumulates 20 blaze points, he gains 6 attack speed points and 8 crit damage amplification points for 7 seconds. So every time he gets 20 blaze points, he'll gain some stats here. Sounds pretty cool. And a 9 of 9, after triggering Flaming Feast, Frampton immediately gains 40 blaze points. So when he triggers the Flaming Feast ability, gaining 40 blaze points. So that's quite a bit of blaze points, I think, compared to the prices of the blaze points. That sounds like a lot of blaze points to gain. So that 9 of 9 sounds pretty good. The 9 of 9 sounds pretty good for Frampton. Okay, so the final thing I'm going to look at is this Arena of Trials. I don't think the Arena of Trials form is up by the time I'm recording this video. I don't think the actual Arena of Trials is up. No, not yet. It'll be up probably either later tonight or tomorrow. And I'm going to look at the wooden dummy here. Click Begin Battle. And this is where he is pretty much by himself with one other hero. And it looks like right off the bat, oh wow, his ultimate ability there, he took them very high in the air. He went off the screen with that ultimate ability. There, he's reducing the health, reducing healing there for the enemies. Yeah, he's just moving around, doing a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage from here. Yeah, he goes off the screen. That's really cool. I really like that ultimate ability. And he slams them down on the nearest enemy, which is really good. There we go. Almost taking him out in the process as well. That looks really good. Yeah, he's looking really cool. Really cool. Okay, I'm also going to look at the Arena Guardian here. And this battle will probably be laggy here, considering it's going to be a 5 against 5 here. I might put him in the back line, maybe back here, so he's not up against Gwyneth. I'm going to use Zolrath. I don't really use Zolrath. I've rarely used Zolrath, so I might just use him. Put Ronan in the middle, I guess. Or I might actually have to put Ronan in the front line, because there's not a lot of actual heroes here. I'll do Rose, and let's go with Hayless. See how this works. Yeah, the Rose should follow the Frampton. Hopefully make him even more powerful. And I'll just bump up the speed here for this. He goes right after the Taline here. And there goes Hendrik protecting the enemy Taline there. Wow, already took down the Hendrik there. Hendrik and Taline are down, but Taline's going to come back up here. And there he goes with his ultimate ability. He's going to take it down probably over here somewhere. Right down on the Arthur, it looks like. And he's doing pretty well here, it looks like. I think really we're gonna have to take down that Gwyneth. Gwyneth is gonna do quite a bit of damage. And he puts Arthur right down on that Gwyneth, and they're both dead. Looks like all that's left is Taylene. Wow, that was insane. That was insanely fast. Okay, looking down at the statistics. Oh my goodness. All that damage he did. No one even came close to Frampton. No one even came close to damage. He also did quite a bit of healing as well, but Rowan, he does a lot of healing by himself, so that's not surprising. He didn't take as much damage as Zorath, but still. All that damage, that's a lot. I feel like Frampton's going to be a pretty powerful Hypogean hero. That was very good. So that's my review of Hampton. Overall, I feel like he'll do very well maxed out. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and comment. Comment what do you think about Frampton so far. And thanks for watching.